Work is work, man. Even on a good day, it still sucks.
Audio works.
Who jumped in there? I can't see comments yet.
There's a. He said, "Sup, man."
Hey, woo. Hey, woo, what's going on? Can you hear me? Audio working? Brookside, how are you doing, man? What's big with you? Not much. I'm good. Work day's over. Long fucking days, man. It was hot as fuck. But got a half day on Thursday, full day on Friday, and the full next week off. So we're gonna go to GunCon. Ammo, ammo, ammo. Strike, strike, strike. Strike for you. There should be a record to how many times people can get strikes. Yeah. It was at 3:30 this morning. It was 83 degrees. I think right now it's like 97 or 98. It cooled off a little bit. It was hot. So I'm home now, fucking chilling. Pushing some fluids, and we're gonna eat something. Probably go jerk off and go to bed. I gotta fix something. I'm gonna black this camera out for a split second. There. I bumped the buttstock so the plate was up. I didn't realize it. I'm in Wisconsin too, man. Where are you at in Wisconsin? I didn't. Brookside Farm. Yeah, we're in Wisconsin yet. You don't have to be specific. I'm in Oshkosh. But yeah, it's hot as fuck outside. Oh. You changed your name to make content. All right. Well, now we know. I wouldn't have known otherwise. I can't quite see your profile pic. Are you up on a big jersey? Is that what you're on? Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have any AC at work, so. Big Angus. That's a big boy. So you're making content now? Pull his channel up, see. Debating content anymore? What do you mean debating content anymore? Oh shit, he's got a nice Colt. Mason, you got a pretty slick Colt. We're looking at it right now. Oh, and a Smith & Wesson. There you go. Well, my offer still goes out to you, man. You want to go shoot that 50? You let me know. We'll go shoot it. That guy, how are you doing? What's shaking, man? What's big with you? Did you put that pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the Colts are nice. I need to pick some up. I got a couple more things to pick up yet this year, but that's on my priority list for next year. I definitely need an Anaconda, and I need a Python. I have to get them both in stainless, of course. I wouldn't even mind the King Cobra just to get all three snake guns. That'd be pretty slick. Maybe we'll make a goal of that because I actually like that idea.
Yeah.
Nothing much. Learning reloading stuff so you can start reloading. All right. What are you in the process of learning? You guys haven't, of course, double tap the screen, blah blah blah, the whole spiel. Like, comment, share. Give me your credit card numbers, social security numbers, you know, all the good stuff.
Bank account information.
Bank account information, yeah. You know, passwords, but definitely double tap the screen. I'm gonna try to get out to Ripon one of these weekends. I'm not making hay. Doesn't matter what ammo I get. As far as 50 BMG, no, it doesn't matter. I'd go to Shields, or I don't know. Your Midwest Shooter Supply might have 50 BMG ammo.
It might.
I would probably bet they probably do. Cabela's does. Otherwise, Shields or John's in Oshkosh, they have it. Not much, just different thing like powders, etc. The big thing with powders, you can stop me if you know this. There's a few types of powders. You have a flake powder, a ball powder, and an extruded powder. Them are the three basic types of powder. And then the biggest thing is burn rates. So slower burn rate powders, you use more of it, which is a good thing when it comes to like compensators or muzzle brakes. And usually with slower burn rate powders, it doesn't matter if it's rifle or pistol, it's hard to do a double charge. If you use faster powders, you can double charge them, and they're usually a little more pressure sensitive. So you gotta be more aware. Alright, hey, we'll catch you later. Ball powder and flake powder meter really, really well for charging cases. Extruded stick powder, it's okay, but sometimes you cut grain so you don't get necessarily the most accurate charge. You have to trickle charge and what?
My phone is just on
Behind the sign?
Kinda, yeah.
That's fine. HP 38, so HP 38 is the modern equivalent to Winchester 231. It's a flake powder. It works really good for 45 ACP. It's a light charge, or it's a light powder for like 9mm, but I like 231 or HP 38. Works really good for 45. You can use it in 40, you can use it in 10mm. I think 38 special. Just off the top of my head. But
Am I able to grab it?
yeah, grab her phone.
I mean,
Cover the camera real quick. Kid set her phone down by the gun. I didn't realize it, so she had to grab it. There you go. I was gonna start with 45 ACP. There you go. 231's a good powder. Bullseye. If you can find Bullseye, that's like the perfect powder for 45. That's like old school. You're one of the better powders out there. Half Empty, how are you doing, man? How'd your day go? I keep trying to catch you when you're doing your stuff, and I usually don't. Renato, how are you doing? You gotta use English, man. We have no idea what you're saying. Doing well. That's good. Yeah, 45. What kind of 45 caliber firearm you got? Just curious if it's 1911 or whatever. Super busy lately, haven't streamed.
I Google translated it so you at least can kind of read what he said.
Here in Brazil, it is impossible for a citizen to legally buy weapons like this. Well, Renato, if you're still here, I guess I'm glad I'm not in Brazil. Oh, you got a Vector? What are the Chris Vectors? So you got a lot of options for projectiles. You're cheaper. Stay away from lead in that firearm. You wouldn't be very happy shooting lead out of that. If it were 1911, I'd tell you that's the way to go. But probably look at like Barry's plated bullets, or Zero or Extreme. Ball and plated bullets will do you just fine. I would, unless you bought it already, I think maybe stay away from that HP 38. Let me ask you this first. Is it got a 16-inch barrel on it, or is it the short barrel? Because that matters when you load cartridges. I can't see what he's saying, Gage. Chanson, how are you doing? The Hornady XTPs, I assume. You might have feed issues with it. Let's see. You guys have good legislation here in Brazil. The government is disarming. I hope that one day we have this right. A hug and have a great week. All right, man. You too, Renato. I don't know what else he's saying. M1, I assume you're asking about the M1. It's an M1A. It's not a Grand. With the 16-inch barrel, you're going to want to use full power loads. Don't do any light loading with that, or you'll end up with squibs. That's definitely something to know when you're loading for pistol caliber carbines with full length barrels. You have to run full powder charges, otherwise you'll end up getting stuck projectiles. Alvin, how are you doing? How's your day going? Yeah, it's 308. 762. I would probably tell you to start with Full Metal Jacket too. For the reason is develop a load first that the gun likes. Some guns, they're finicky with hollow points. XTP is usually a good one because it's a rounder profile, but you're gonna have to test with it. So I would say start with something first and get your proof of concept to make sure the gun's gonna run your load, and then try something. If you're loading Hornady bullets, Hornady has a loading manual specific to their bullets. Same with Spear and Sierra and Nosler. They all have specific load data for their bullets that they publish.
That's probably going through. It's going weird, but essentially it looks like an M1 Grand, only at modern.
Yeah, it's an M1A. Yeah, do a full power charge, otherwise you're going to have issues. So when we load, even for the 9mm, when we load for them, I actually load plus P for them. We've had a lot of issue with squibs in pistol caliber carbines. Pretty good, bro. How are you? I'm good, man. It's hot. Gunshots, how are you doing? Not a fan of the Mac 11, huh? But yeah, I'm home for the day. I have no place I have to go, so I'm staying in.
You know what's even better about our heat wave is followed by the rest of the week it's going to be raining.
Yeah. If the short axe passes, my vector will be SBR. I think if the short axe passes, it may take a few years, but nobody's going to be buying standard length firearms anymore, which will actually be pretty impressive because a lot of people try to get similar performance out of shorter barrels, which will drive the industry to optimize cartridges for short barrels. I mean, who's going to have an AR with a 16-inch barrel? Nobody, you know. So more and more people that have shorter barrels. Now there'll be stuff like my M1A. That's got the 18-inch barrel. I don't like the 16-inch barrels, and you're not going any shorter, right? But a lot of the stuff you're going to see, that it's all going to have short barrels. Why wouldn't it, right? But you'll see powder manufacturers as well as cartridge manufacturers start to innovate. Dallas, Kokomo Love, how are you doing, Mike? How's your day going? Staying cool there in Texas? It's hot as fuck here. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. If I were a betting person, and I want it to pass, I really do. But if I were a betting person, I'm gonna say it's probably not gonna fucking happen. If it does, man, right the fuck on. So you can, the different types of loaders, I think you're asking about dies or the press. So there's a few different types of presses. You have single stage presses, you have progressive presses, and you have turret presses. Them are the three basic types. You can use any one of them three presses for loading rifle or pistol. But if you're loading 45 ACP, you'll need a set of 45 ACP dies. You would use, yeah. So you can use any one of them presses you want. A good press to start out with is like a turret press, like a Lee 400. It's a pretty simple press. It's hard to mess something up. Single stage presses are a good way to go if you're gonna get into like precision rifle and stuff, but they're slow. So I would probably recommend a Lee turret press. Yeah, the dies are made for specific calibers, obviously. Mountain Man, how are you doing? What's big with you? Obviously, like I said already, if you guys haven't, double tap the screen. Feel free to give me your PIN numbers, passwords, email passwords, credit card numbers, you know, all the usual stuff. So we're nothing much, done with work for the day. It was hot as fuck. Killed this live for a little bit. There you go. We have a bunch of different presses. Just kind of depends on what you're doing. Most of our stuff with rifle is all single stage. But we're going to GunCon this weekend if any of y'all interested. That should be a good time. For our arsenal, more specifically M-press wax. I'll pull that up, Gage. I'm not sure what press that is. I think I know. I think that's the one with the like 7 die rotating head. 2 Dillon 1050s and a 550B for 45 ACP. There you go. It's Frankfurt Arsenal. Frankfurt Arsenal, specifically the M. I'm just looking up that press. I'm not sure which one that is off the top of my head. Don't load often anymore. Still do a lot of hard cast bullets though. Yeah, I do some casting. I haven't, since my kids started shooting with me again, I haven't shot any cast lead. But I do cast for 45, I do cast for 9mm. And I powder coat. I used to do tumble lube, and then I bought a Lee, not a Lee, a Lyman sizer luber, so it's got the heating element in it. But it's, and I started powder coating, so it's kind of a horse apiece. But for my kids, I always shoot plated bullets for them because of the lead exposure. So when I go shooting just by myself, depending on what I'm shooting, I'll shoot lead. But I think we still have about 4 tons of lead, and I don't know, maybe 400 or 500 pounds of linotite, and 100 pounds of tin out there. So it's a whole nother process, man. They run clean, so you don't get any lead falling in the barrel. You don't really get any powder coat falling either, which is kind of interesting. And you can push a powder coated projectile to almost the same velocity of a full metal jacket or of a standard bullet. But it's a whole nother process. It's time consuming. Obviously, tumble lubing them with some like liquid Alox is way faster. It's slower than using the Lyman sizer luber, but it's not as messy. I don't know. So it's all time, So with powder coating, you do it pretty easy. You can use one of the little bread ovens, a bowl, some airsoft BBs, a bowl made out of like number 5 recyclable plastic. You put your bullets in there, you shake them up with the powder coat. The number 5 recyclable plastic creates a static charge. You pull them out on a little chicken wire mesh, and you put them in the oven, 400 degrees. So that's one way to do it. I bought a gun for it, and I've never even used it. It's quick and easy. When you're done powder coating them, they're done in the oven. You put them in a bowl, you spray some lanolin on them, and you run them through a sizer. So it's just the idea of, number one, they have to be clean. So really, right after you cast them, you quench them, and then you get a few hundred, then you powder coat them right away. Otherwise, if you leave them sit and start to oxidize a little bit, then you have to clean them, which is a pain in the dick, and that's more work than it's worth. Yeah, I do too. Yukon Bob, how are you doing? What's going on with you? Yeah, standard toaster oven. You just need to get up to 400 degrees. So the advantage to a powder coat bullet versus like a tumble lube or a lubed in size like the Lyman is they can be as soft as shit. They don't have to be hard at all, and you don't have to lube them. You don't have to lube powder coated bullets. So there's advantages and disadvantages. I always drop them onto a wet rag and then into the bucket. So I just put a bucket with a rag with a slit into it on top of I don't know, it's like a 2-gallon bucket. It's not a 5-gallon, but and there I got mesh, but that's how it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Long time. It's been a little while. We did a live a couple days ago. I don't know. I think I erased it because I started talking shit to somebody. I didn't want to get a strike, so I privated the live. Kind of got to be in just the right mood to do lives because you get them couple people that just they want to troll, and I light them up over it. John Wanks, how are you doing, man? Yeah, like I said, there's advantages to it. You know, to be able to run straight lead, you know, be it range lead or wheel weights, not have to add any alimony. That's definitely an advantage. It makes it cheaper. You know, I don't know about you, but for tin and for Mitatite, I have to buy them. We have a bunch, but still it cost me money. The range lead I got for free. I just had to cast it all down. We cleaned out a indoor range like 15 years ago. Actually over 15 years ago because my son wasn't even born yet. And they were redoing the whole indoor range. It was an old range. They were putting new steel in there. We went in there, we cleaned that all down. I mean, it was like 4 pickup trucks full, and I spent the whole summer casting down all into lead ingots. I had the Lyman ingot mold, and then we used the muffin tins. So 1,200 pounds of lead. I hate using it because it's hard to find. Yeah, it is. That's, like I said, that's one advantage to the powder coated bullets is they can be soft. Doing pretty good. Just got off working time to join the live. Well, I'm glad you're here, man. We'll be here for a little bit. Not a sponsor. What's going on? How are you doing? Long time. Hey, you know what? Not a sponsor. After you made that comment about fishnet stockings, I absolutely did pull them up on the internet, and I was going to send you a couple links. And I realized how creepy it was that I was sitting there looking at fishnet stockings to send a link to a dude. And after I thought about it, I'm like, this is kind of maybe a little weird. So I didn't do it. Not saying I didn't want to do it, I chose not to. Just a bit weird. It would be more weird if it were like random out of the blue and all of a sudden you open up your phone and here's a link for fishnet stockings. That'd be a little weird. I think in retrospect, the fact that we were talking about it, it wouldn't have been as weird. It would have still been a little weird, but it wouldn't have been as weird. Everyday Carrie, how are you doing, man? I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll get them another time. But yeah, GunCon at the end of the week. We're leaving here Thursday. We'll be there Friday. We'll be there Saturday. And we'll come home Sunday. I had a hell of a time explaining those ads. He sure knows how to make a sponsor blush, yeah. What kind of sights are on the Glock 34? Them are Dawson Precision. So they're definitely not inexpensive. But it's high vis front, high vis back. It's their narrow front. I forget the height on it, but the back is adjustable for windage and elevation. If you're looking for a good set of sights, Dawson Precision is where it's at. Just don't expect that they're going to be inexpensive because they're not. But definitely good sights. Yeah, not a sponsor. I usually try to. Man, I could sit there, right? We could sit and talk about guns or something, but I'd rather sit there and just make it awkward. You know, makes for a better time. It makes it more fun for me. I think it makes it more fun for people that are just kind of trolling and they stop and hang out. What looks small for the gun, mine or yours? It's not a Norinco, it's a Prochin. That's the very first AKs that were imported in the United States. It's Prochin. People's Republic of China export. Nope, that's a Colt. So I like them 1A. I've had that gun a long time. I don't shoot it very often. When I do go shoot it, it's usually the only gun I take to the range. I'll sit there for an afternoon and play with it. When I go take people shooting and stuff, that isn't something I bring with. That's my gun. That's for me. Even my kid sitting here, he's only shot I think one time, maybe twice.
Two, maybe three, I think.
2, maybe 3 times. And that's about all my oldest has seen it too. Um, yours, yeah. Check out Dawson Precision. So like the Trigicon you have, I'm sure they're probably glow in the dark, but they're competition sites. Dawson is I mean they cut their teeth in the competition world. So the stuff they make is primarily based on competition setups. They do have the night sights and stuff, and they have whatever, but for my application, that's what it is. Yeah, I don't know what they cost now. So that's the Scout Squad. So that's got the 18-inch barrel. I never owned the SOCOM, but I shot the SOCOM hundreds of times, and it's not a very enjoyable rifle to shoot. The full size is just butter smooth, super nice gun to shoot. I like the 18-inch barrel. It's the best of both worlds. That has the national match sights. It's got the national match trigger in it, and it's got the Scout rail. I actually have a Scout scope for it. I bought it last year, and I've never even put it on. I bought the optic. Yeah, I bought the optic just to. I want to shoot some groups with it, but I've never messed around putting it on there.
Yeah, I completely forgot we had that.
Yeah, it's been sitting in there on the shelf.
Yeah.
This summer we'll get it mounted on at some point. Do you have the grenade launcher sight for it? For what? The M1A? The M1A doesn't have a grenade launcher attachment. But like the SOCOM, they shorten up the gas system on there, and then the shorter barrel. That's got the full size gas system, so it's whatever you want to call it, rifle's length. Nobody's gonna buy you dinner. You're barking up the wrong trees. I'm pretty sure all of us, dude. I don't think there's a guy in the chat that would have the common courtesy to give you a reach around. I could be wrong. I mean, everybody here would make eye contact, but I don't think anybody give you the courtesy of a reach around. Yeah, it's an enjoyable gun, man. If you want something, you want to kind of challenge yourself with iron sights, that's where it's at.
Yeah, because it is a very accurate gun.
It's super accurate with iron sights. Now, on an optic, I don't know how accurate it is, right? Is it a half-inch gun? Probably not. 1-inch gun? I would guess probably 1 MOA. For me, with the iron sights, we can usually get 2 to 3 MOA at 100 yards with iron sights. So I know there's people that can do it better. Maybe 20 years ago I could have, but my eyes aren't what they used to be. But we like to shoot it like, we'll go out at the 330-yard plates or the 500-yard plates, even the 200-yard plates, and we'll just shoot it offhand. So that's a lot of fun. Yeah, Bud is polite like that. Ain't nobody that polite in here. Nobody. I'm a man that if you offer enough money, I will do it. Everyone has, absolutely everybody has a price tag. Anybody that says there isn't, you know. Throw down a box of ammo and we could probably talk, you know. I'm just gonna ignore that. I see it.
Yeah.
Scoot, how are you doing? Yeah, everybody's gotta pay bills. So if anybody in here has something they want to see at GunCon or wants us to go and cover, let me know. We're gonna go to range day, so we get to shoot shit. I don't know how much shooting we get to do. I imagine most stuff like this is they give you tickets. So I don't know how many tickets we're gonna get, but Gage and I are both going. We're both on the list. So we'll get to do some shooting, then $20 and a Big Mac with a fry and sweet tea deal. Oh, you're cheap. I mean, I guess so. Sweet tea wouldn't be so bad. Make that hole and hope for the best. Never do the reach around. No. All right, man. We'll be right back. Big machine. I mean by big machine, is that a company or what? Inflation isn't crazy. It'd be interesting to see what the hotels cost. When the wife gets home, we'll pull it up and figure out where we're staying. I could do it now, but if I wait till she comes home, I can get her to put it on her account, not mine. You're also an asshole? It's alright. There's nothing wrong with being an asshole, David. Welcome to the crowd. What kind of pizza is this?
Yeah, lots of them, but I can look.
It's not the regular ones.
No, it's not the ones Mom normally gets. No, we're normally like $8 a piece.
But yeah, we're interested. GunCon should be a good time. I've never been there. I've been to SHOT Show, but I've never been to GunCon. Once you pull up a mileage time-wise, see exactly how long it's going to take us to get there. Here to Cleveland. I think it's right about 8 hours. It's messed up. Work wasn't going to give me off. And then I got him talked into Friday. And then this morning I got him talked into a half day on Thursday. So, grilled cheese, how are you doing, man?
Yeah, it says 8 hours and 1 minute. I think for what they're actually doing is like 8 hours and 11 or something like that.
So 8 hours.
Yeah.
But your friend spent a lot of time in Thailand. Fuck it. Hey man, Thailand's like a bad game of Russian roulette. You know, you gotta admire somebody for being willing to spin the wheel, right?
I mean,
But
you get take her somewhere and she whips out one bigger than you.
that would definitely be my concern. Is the hooker that I paid for would have a bigger cock than me? That would be embarrassing. Like, how does a self-respecting man come back from that? You know? I was gonna take my son to GunCon, but we decided to go camping and hiking at Moab instead. There you go. That'll be a good time too. We're good. It's hot as fuck today. I'm home now. Figured we'd get some lives time. It's been a little while since we actually sat down and did a live. So, eating some pizza. Haven't seen him since March. Yeah, you guys will have a good time. Look, just say what everyone else does. Says, I was drunk and passed out. In reality, you know just as well as that. Yeah, they didn't pass out. They fucking... At what point do you think anybody that would do this would like, alright, I'm not going to do it? Would you wait until you felt the bulge and be like, I'm done? Or would it be like, well, fuck it, I paid for it. Might as well get a blowjob out of it, right? I'd be too scared to find out the hard way. And how could you have a good story from that? Come back, be like, yeah, I was in Thailand. Everyone's gonna be like, well, was it a dude? And if you say no, it wasn't dude, everybody's gonna know you're lying. Everybody's gonna know you're lying. Yeah, that's why you don't reach your own.
Yeah. But if you say yes, it was a dude, then everyone's question is, how far did you take it?
Yeah, it was a dude. How far did you take it? Yeah. Well, hey man, you know, I'm frugal. I wanted to get my money's worth either way. You know, I was committed at that point. I already paid it. Made it like Fedra. Well, all right. Brent, how are you doing? $20 is $20. Oh yeah. Yep. That could be awkward. I definitely would want to see a little proof first. I want to make sure what I'm getting here. And we all know you can tuck, right? I want to see. I want to see to make sure that this isn't going bad. Shout out from Oregon. How's the weather in Oregon today? I'm done if you want the rest of that.
Okay.
Yeah. I got married in '97, so I feel you. Been married a long time too. I can't even get an erection anymore if my wife doesn't lean in and tell me what a piece of shit of a person I am. I can't even get hard. I need her to tell me what a horrible person I am.
Or
Or,
she chokes you.
or if she chokes me. If she chokes me a little or pinches my nipples, I'm there. But I definitely need somebody to tell me, you're a piece of shit. And then, oh, dude, I got a fucking raging hard on. You want the sign? I'm sure if you do a Google search, you can probably find it. I've had that for, I don't know, about 2 years now.
I thought you had it for the previous election.
You were born in '97. Well, that makes me feel old. Probably shouldn't be listening to anything I say because I'm demented, warped, and yeah. Married for 30 years, it's like eating a seed. For 30 years straight, sometimes chocolate chip isn't good enough. You want a sugar cookie. I hear you. There's not much left to imagination at that long. Your oldest was born in '92. My oldest was born in 2000. Right? Yeah. Hey man, when we're old, everything comes back to, it's either cookies or pie. You got a polymer base. That's actually a protein. That's the very first AK that was imported in the country. It was less than 9,000 of them were imported. It was like 8,300 or something. And it was imported through a company in California, Sherwood, in Northridge. Protein is People's Republic of China export. That's like the rarest Chinese AK you'll ever find. With the exception of if you got their side folder, under folder, it was less of them brought in. Almost every one of them protein AKs was purchased for the movie industry. The prop houses bought them. So like a lot of these old movies that have AKs in them, 90% of them or more were all protein. It's an M1A. It's not an M1 Grand. So that's the it'd be equivalent to like an M14. Well, John, I would consider that protein a collector's gun. I shoot it. Everything I own, I shoot. There's some things that I haven't fired, but I don't own anything that I would not fire. There you go, the shots. A few years ago. Now understand this, number one. This is disclosure. I have no problem getting it there, right? But I thought, I told the doctor, I'm like, hey, doc, how about some help? He's like, well, are you having a hard time with it? I'm like, no, man. Everything works. It's not the same. It's not like when I was 16 and I could take a wet towel and flex it. I've been married a long time, so he gave me some. Dude, the wife was not a fan of that. She did not like that at all. Brett, I have an original 1911 45 my father gave me from when he served. There you go. Truck Shats Androids. Nice channeling. I have all kinds of guns, man. This isn't it. But there is a wheel gun on there. You missed that wheel gun. Right on the bottom of the table, there's a wheel gun. That gun is in just about every one of my lives. John Wakes. That should be the next gun you buy. You get one of them little mini North American arms. They're inaccurate as fuck. They're not very expensive, but it's a hoot to shoot. When you shoot them, they damn near come flying out of your hand with just .22 long rifle. It makes you feel like you're shooting a big bore revolver the way the gun reacts, but it's not accurate at all.
How could that not be accurate? It's like at least a 5-inch barrel.
Yeah, at least a 5-inch barrel. Trust me, I know 5 inches when I see it. That's clearly 5 inches. How the fuck do we get talking all this weird shit? Not a sponsor is to blame.
Yeah, with the fishnet seconds.
Need one at 45.70. There you go.
Ever since that, it just slowly went downhill.
That's all right. Makes for better conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey man, I'm picturing you in them high heels, or not high heels. What do we agree on? Crocs, fishnets, and a pink thong. If y'all want to see not a sponsor and a pink thong, fishnet stockings, and Crocs, then subscribe to his channel. He said when he gets 1,000 subs, he'll definitely do a little gun tease for us. I heard him say it. I'm positive I heard him say it.
And I think we've had a live discussion since we met Jordan.
What's going on? Half day on Thursday, full day on Friday. Oh bullshit! It would be like a bad train wreck. Everybody would take a quick peek. I mean, we probably wouldn't admit it, but we'd all take a quick peek. All right, Scoop Man, you have a good day. We'll get back to you another time. Your first gun ever was a Heritage. There you go. That's a good gun to start out with. Weird, you just lost 20 subs. No, you didn't. You probably picked up 400. How many viewers we got?
16.
Well, you probably picked up at least 5 subs out of that. Wasn't it? What was that song you were gonna play? Was it Miley Cyrus or something? I think it was Miley Cyrus.
I don't know. I
Or,
didn't know about this until today.
What's that chick? A country singer. What's that country singer? Not a sponsor. Actual gold plated. Yeah, they're soft.
First, I thought you were talking about Taylor Swift, but she's not country.
I came in Luke a wrecking ball. Yeah, gold. Actual gold is soft, but like a lot of this stuff, it's all titanium nitride. It was Taylor Swift. That's what I thought. So we'll get not a sponsor doing a little short of Taylor Swift. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, the real gold is soft. It'll scratch and it'll flake off the barrels. But like, if it's any of the more modern stuff that's titanium nitrided, you won't harm the gun at all shooting it. But like these gold AKs or gold ARs, there's some gold Thompsons out there and shit. Yeah, you'll fuck them up. That's something you put in a case and leave it. Yeah, the Cerakote doesn't really look gold though. It's a paint. The titanium nitride stuff, I like that. That's got a real good gold look to it, and it's hard. It doesn't scratch. So I know they call it Cerakote gold, but it's more like a pyrite. It's what gun? Now you got a shirt, John. What gun are you thinking about getting? Fool's gold. Yeah, it's that pyrite. Is that what it's called? Fake gold? Is that what fake gold's called, April? Pyrite? I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to say I'm 100%, but I'm pretty sure. Jab, how are you doing? How'd your day go? Colt 1911 Jack and Toe. I'm not familiar with that. I'll have to look it up. Hey, Gage. Gage. I'm coming, Daddy. Good day. Trigicon SRO came in the mail today. There you go. What are you going to put it on? Pull up the Colt 1911 Jacanetto. I'm not familiar with that. Is that in 38 Super, John? Or is that in 45? M&P 2.0 10 millimeter. There you go. Is that your carry gun, or is that your... I just want to shoot shit with, make big holes.
Oh, it looks like pretty much a deluxe version of your Colt.
Oh, there you go. That's a pretty gun, John. I like the engraving. If you're asking me if I would shoot it, I'd probably shoot it just not a lot. I'd probably shoot a mag or something through it, because it is a firearm, but it looks like the barrel's just a polished stainless, right? The barrel bushing's gold and it's got the gold inlay. So definitely something that you wouldn't want to be shooting all the time. Not that I wouldn't want to see it, and not that I wouldn't be jealous, but them are definitely nice. What are they, like 3,200, 3,300, somewhere around there? That has both barrels, so it's set up in 44 mag, but I do have the 5080 barrel. Yeah, only 3,200. That's not that. It sounds like a lot of money for a gun, but it's really not.
Not for something that like that.
It's not. You know, once you get over the fact of paying over $1,000 for a gun, you know, it gets easier. And then over $2,000 for a gun. At that point, it's, if you want it, it's just the price to pay. So that guy is one of their specialty packages, or whatever you want to call it, limited number. It's real gold. It's got gold inlay, and then it's got a gold barrel bushing. Pull that back up.
Yeah.
But it's engraved, and it's gold inlaid. You have the brushed chrome Desert Eagle. There you go. Here, why don't you go show it? Put it over the front. Looks like it's got a gold hammer too. They'll put it on camera. There you go. So that's the gun John's looking at. So looks like their government model, probably Series 70 would be my guess, but definitely slick. It'd be gold plated. It wouldn't be real. I mean, it's inlaid gold, so all the engraving's gonna have gold. The hammer's gonna be gold plated. The barrel bushing's gonna be gold plated. The magazine release is gonna be gold plated. But yeah, that should all be gold. Pull up the specs. Let's make sure. We'll just pull up the specs. We can do this. We can do it. Weston Pebbles, is that a 22 long rifle? I don't know which one you're talking about, bud. The very bottom little mini revolver, yeah, that's 22. What are the specs?
Well, it's a very exclusive limited edition, full-size government model Colt 1911.
Say it loud so they can hear it.
It's a full-size Colt model full-size government model Colt 1911 chambered in 45 ACP.
Does it say if it's Series 70 or Series 80?
Not of what I've seen.
The one on the left, no. The rifle on the left is an M1A, and it's chambered in 7.62. It's a 308.
Here's actually a picture of what it looks like on top of the slide. Very pretty.
Yeah, it's a cool gun. No, I don't have an M1 Grand.
Left side, a 24 karat gold plated ribbon. Yeah, it's gold.
Yeah, that's slick. That's gonna be all hand engraved too. That's not machine engraved inside. That's pretty slick.
All right, here's.
Go ahead, show it.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you didn't catch it, that's not something I own. That's something that John Wakes is looking at getting. Do you have a Ruger 1022? Yes, I have 3 Ruger 1022s. Yeah, that's definitely that's an heirloom gun, a collector's gun.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even think you'd keep that in a safe. You might keep it in a display box, you know, like a shadow box or a display box. But that would be something you would put in a closed container, because you start handling it, you're going to be scratching the gold. Stay down here. Not in this live, we're not going to. What's out here is what's out here. Can't handle guns on YouTube Live, so we're not going to go get firearms and put them out. I've never handled one of the Desert Eagle 1911s. I've seen them, but I've never bothered to pick one up or, you know, check them out. So I couldn't tell you if they're good or bad. I have no idea their fitment or any of that. I mean, I would have a hard time talking anybody out of that if that were something you'd want. I mean, fucking Gucci guns are kind of cool to have. They're cool conversation pieces for sure. But I think John Wakes just has an expensive taste in firearms. I foresee in John Wakes' future an Atlas. Like an Atlas Erebus or Athena. At least, maybe not, but I want one. I want one of them in the worst way. Not in the worst way, I wouldn't sell anything to get it, but I would like to have one. I don't know if it'd be worth 20, but it would definitely gain value. Yeah, everybody likes Desert Eagles. PO8s are definitely cool too. You don't see too many people with PO8s. Yeah, see? I was looking at them not too long ago too, like, I don't know, maybe a month ago or something. I picked up the Athena and I picked up the Erebus, and yeah. I do have 2 RPGs actually, Weston. I have 2 of them. Because it's always better to have 2. You're such a weirdo. Weston, if you haven't, consider subscribing to the channel. Any of y'all, if you're all here hanging out, man, consider subscribing to the channel. If you haven't, double tap the screen, put a like on the video. I have one AR-10. It's a DPMS. It's nothing fancy. I bought it from my brother-in-law. It's one of their LR308s. Stainless steel barrel, 16-inch barrel. It's got the Vortex flash hider on it. You know, that's just about all I can say. Nothing fancy about it at all. My sister needed money for their tax bill, and that's what they offered up, so I bought it. At your range, they were talking about how I'm dumb for shooting the Colt Italy. I said, hey, I don't buy guns just to look at. Yeah, the truth of it is they're just jealous, man. Everybody's a hater. You hear that all the time. And the truth of it is if they had it, they'd probably shoot it too. Ginger, what's going on with you, man? How's your day going? But you know, you look at people like they bust their nut because you're shooting that Colt. I forget what you paid for it, but it wasn't like kidney type cost, right? Then you look at people that are buying the Atlases, you know. And you should see what they do to these guns. They're running them, you know. They're using them like they're treating it like it were a Glock, you know. Waiting to be on band in the next few minutes. Did you get a 24-hour ban? Leo, I'm not gonna give my personal opinions, but if you say stuff like that, I gotta kick you out because YouTube will kick me out. So, yeah, $2,300 isn't bad. I'd fucking run it. You know. It's the 22 long rifle. It's just, I think people when you start spending good money on firearms, people forget about what they're for, right? So, you know, that DWX, that was 22, you know. My checkmates are 3, you know, each. We treat them like they were a Glock too, you know. Have the same also in 22 long rifle. Cops has it right now. Well, that sounds like a shitty situation for you. I don't know how to say your name. That's got both barrels. That's got the 44 Mega and the 50 AE. You want to start looking for hotels? We'll be there Thursday. Huh? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Not a sponsor said we can come crash at his house. So as long as we bring fishnet stockings and Crocs, we're good.
And a pink thong.
And a pink thong. Weston, you got a Ruger 1020 for Christmas from your grandpa. You don't really need to do much to a 1022. They work good. If you haven't upgraded the trigger, a good upgraded trigger is decent. I forget the name of the part, but you can change their bolt lock open. Like on a Ruger 1022, you gotta pull the bolt back, press the button, release the button, and then let the bolt go forward. And then you have to do the same thing or hold the button and let the bolt go forward. And when you release it, it's goofy shit. But there's a little, it's like an $8 part you can change, and then it's just pull back and let go. Cops took your 1022 takedown also when I was at the moment plinking. There you go. Well, hopefully you weren't plinking at things you shouldn't have been. So it depends, again, Weston, it depends what you want to do with it. Like people that use them for Steel Challenge, they run the factory 10-round magazines. And they work. That's a rebuildable magazine. You can adjust the tension on them. So that does a lot of things. Now, if you want to get into the bigger capacity magazines, the Ruger BX25s, I think is what they're called. I think it's BX25. They're good magazines. They work well. As far as scopes, again, it depends on what you're doing with it. If you're trying to target shoot with it, be super accurate, you're going to want some with some magnification. If you're just trying to have good fun with it, a red dot, 1022 you can build a million different ways. There's a lot of things you can do for it, depending on if you want to go hunting with it, if you're just plinking with it. If you're just playing with it, it's just a fun plinking gun, I would say, just a red dot and a trigger and some of them BX25 magazines, that would put you in the mode for a lot of fun. I've shot on this before. It's just need a scope, and should I get the extended mag? If you're gonna target shoot with it, the extended mags don't work well at a bench, so you can't get the rifle low enough to get a good rest with it. So again, that would be where you'd want a 10-round magazine. If you want to just have a lot of fun with the gun and enjoy shooting it, I'd just get a red dot. You're not going to be shooting at 100. Well, some people might. If Orange Smoke was here, he would holler at me for this, but you're not going to shoot at 100 yards. He would. Pure Alaska, what's going on, man? How are you doing? Whoa. It'll shoot 100 yards. You're not going to get like bullseye accuracy. I mean, you're going to get like a 3 MOA, I think, maybe 4 MOA. A lot of people have good luck with their 22s at distance. Even my 22 I built with the Adams and Bennett barrel. I'm not shooting great groups at 100 yards with it. Some ammo is better than other, but 50 yards is usually about as far as I shoot. I consider that good, but people, like I said, Orange Smoke, he's got some precision 22s, and they're poking them at distance. Pure Alaskan, are you driving right now? Because it seems like every time I catch you, you have court soon because of your 1022. What did you get charged with? Obviously, you got some charges out of something. Yeah, it ain't no big deal, Weston. I'm glad you're here. Pure Alaska, we're gonna hit GunCon this week. Driving and flying. I suppose. How far do you have to go to like a Walmart or something? I saw the back, it was 37 inches, now it's 28. As long as your barrel's 16 inches, the minimum minimum rifle length, I believe, is 26 inches. So as long as it's at least 26 inches, you should be fine. Yeah, we haven't been on live for a minute. Not bad, about half hour. That ain't too bad. We had stuff going on. We had a bunch of matches we hit, and then I had a Wisconsin State sectional match I was getting ready for. So like every spare minute I had, I was doing something firearm related, either loading ammo, testing ammo, something like that. Red 1911. No, that's a Dan Wesson DWX. It's a 1911 slide with a CZ Tactical Sport frame. Roughly Tactical Sport frame. That's Dan Wesson's version of a 2011. Yeah, I don't know what California is, so I'd be lying. I know federal law is 26 inches. Look up federal or California minimum overall rifle length. Yeah, so 16 inches is minimum barrel length, but they also have the minimum overall rifle length. So you can't have
Said overall rifle length or barrel length?
Overall length. So you could have a 16-inch barrel, and you could have a gun that started out as a rifle that you chop down,
Yeah,
and that would put you below the minimum length. So 26 inches is federal. Like all these little youth model crickets or rascals and stuff, they got to be at least 26 inches, even with the 16-inch barrel, to be a legal firearm. That's for a long gun. So obviously if it were a pistol, it wouldn't matter, but what's up, Mini 14? How are you doing? How's your day going? Weston, yeah. The very top gun up there has a 44 Magnum barrel. Nusky, we'll just call you Rambo, that's easier. I appreciate it, man. So, Mini 14, what are you up to? What's going on today? Yeah, I've had that for a long time. I think I bought that in I bet you it was like 2009, 2010 I bought that. So I've had it a long time. I bought a scout scope for it last year, and I still haven't put it on there. I need to. I subbed the first live I watched when you had the Glock 17. Yeah, I got a couple Glock 17s. I got a Gen 3 and a Gen 4. Weston, do you ever check out any of the videos, the shorts that get published? Need to get an M1 Grand. I need one too. We need to find a CMP match. CMP, Civilian Marksmanship Program, they are let me rephrase that, because they're not they are manufacturing brand new 100% brand new M1 Grands right now. Brand new barrel, brand new receiver, brand new bolt. The whole rifle is brand new, current modern production. Yep, brand new. But it's through the Civilian Marksmanship Program. So the only way to get a Civilian Marksmanship rifle is you have to compete in a Civilian Marksmanship match. So that doesn't mean you have to go out and win. It just means you have to compete. And that makes you eligible to purchase through the Civilian Marksmanship Program, which is a federal government program. Is there any such thing as a 55 Magnum revolver? I've never heard of a 55 Magnum revolver. yeah, go check it out. So that's one of our goals yet for this summer, and later half of the summer. My son wants a M1 Grand the worst way, so we have to get him signed up for a civilian marksmanship match, which we would use the full-size AR I have. We played with the rifle a little bit, but we haven't had a chance to get back to it. First half of the summer was busy. Our second half here, it could be as busy, but it's going to kind of taper out a little bit to more just normal matches. This weekend there's a 2-gun match that we're going to miss. It's full auto illegal on a 1022. So, yes, more or less. You can have a transferable pre-May 1986 1022 that was full auto. But generally speaking, especially being you're probably young, it's probably going to be illegal for you to have a full auto 1022. I'm not saying they don't exist and you can't get them, but thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for one, and a bunch of federal paperwork. Godfather, how are you doing, man? No, Weston, it isn't going to matter. Breaking the law is still breaking the law. Now, there is things that you could do, like any of the binary triggers work. The bump stocks work. I'm sure if you wait a little while and get patient, there'll probably be a forced reset trigger that comes out for them. I'm actually surprised they haven't released one yet for it. Great. What kind of Glock? That's a Glock 34. Yeah, I mean, now that things are figured out, you probably wouldn't, the trigger, you wouldn't be able to get a full auto one when you're 16. You would have to do federal paperwork, so you'd have to be at least 18. But it's, when I say thousands of dollars, it would be thousands of dollars. Unless you got the binary trigger, they're only a few $100. They're not very expensive. But be patient and wait. I will guarantee there will be forced reset triggers coming for 1022s. Guarantee it. NFA's 21. I honestly didn't know what it was. I appreciate it, Godfather. That's it's a protein, so it's a Type 56. That's the rarest Chinese AK you can get a hold of. That's the very first AKs they brought into the country. It was less than 9,000. I think it was like 8,300 and change that were brought in before the United States had a big issue with them selling firearms because it was a government entity importing and then selling firearms to the American public. Yeah. What? Look up once on Gunbroker and see how much a 1022 full auto is. So you might have to put class 3. They have a Big O, what's going on, man? How are you doing? We're gonna look it up right now, yeah. Pre-May of 86, transferable. What you see is kind of what you get. I can zoom in a little bit.
You said search up what?
Full auto 1022. I can't see it because of the chat. See it now, right? You're at work slacking off. Hey, so Big O, not a sponsor, put the challenge out that if we can get him up to 1,000 subscribers, he's gonna put some Crocs on, some fishnet stockings and a pink thong, and dance to, what was that chick's name again?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. So spread the word, because in a sick sort of way, I'd like to see it. I heard him say it. If you guys didn't hear him say it, then you need to be in his lives, because he says all kinds of weird shit like that. You can technically make them, but you can only sell them to military LEO agencies. So you have your SOT, I assume? Subathon? No, I'm in Wisconsin. Don't get him to 1,000, get him stuck at $9.99. There you go. He does indeed say a lot of weird shit. 07 SOT, there you go. Did you find one?
That's what I'm looking for. Trying to actually get the filters to try and help because doing class 3 full of classes.
Big ol' get ready to dance. Oh boy. I don't hunt anymore. I used to pheasant hunt, duck hunt, turkey hunt, deer hunt, and we do rabbits, squirrels, and predator hunting. But I don't hunt anymore. I think part of why I used to hunt so much is once you own the equipment, you know, there's not a huge cost. You know, getting all your orange or getting your camo, getting your firearms. Once you had all that, it was meat. It was meat in the freezer. So when I had a young family, it definitely was cost effective to go out hunting. Now we just buy beef from my wife's dad. So he has a farm. When we need beef, she buys a half cow, quarter cow, whatever. So finding them? Yeah, kid can't even find one. Do a general search once. Just on Google. Full auto 1022 for sale. I'm gonna guess. I don't know. Gunshots. What do you think? You probably have. I'm gonna say it's probably a $10,000 gun.
Probably at least.
Somewhere between 8 and 10 would be my guess. What's your guess? We're gonna see if we can't find one here. If you guys haven't too, I don't know if you're aware, but Ammo got hit on some more strikes again on his monetized channel. Man, get over there and watch his match videos. He shot USPSA this last weekend, but he could definitely use some support too. You know, it really sucks when you keep getting slapped with shit. I mean, guy tries hard, and I don't know why he's getting singled out like he is, because he's a nice guy. At least I think he's a nice guy. I think he's solid. How much?
Well, this one, no barrel length pretty much at all. This was, actually let's see, can I even find a barrel length?
It doesn't matter on full auto at the NFA. It can be any barrel length you want.
Sold now, but it was 26,000.
26,000. Keep looking. They got to be cheaper. It would never, unless you're doing it for business, not a sponsor, it's not worth having an FFL or an SOT. The one thing, no, I don't have a Terran Tactical. The one thing that people don't realize, when you have your FFL, you can't use it for your own personal collection. Meaning you can't be acquiring firearms and then transferring them to yourself. It's actually against the law. To sell firearms, just normal firearms, it's a really, really hard business, because Fleet Farm sells the guns cheaper than you can get them. By the time you buy it, have it shipped, you're paying usually $20 to $30 more than Fleet Farm's selling them. So it's hard to make a living that way. Yep, same way I do. So like I said, I had all that stuff, and I closed it. It was cool. You know, the one thing I did do is I did have I
believe it.
did have a lot of demo models, right? But
I haven't found another one, but I found a website that has all kinds of machine guns on it.
yeah,
And this is actually the first thing I've seen that's.
Gunshot says they're like 25 to 28.
I don't know where he's from, but
How much?
the first things I've seen under 20,000 have been H&R model 50.
Let's see what you got. Show me. Yeah, Weston, we go to the range all the time. We shoot a bunch of different competition and stuff.
That's the whole website.
Oh, 1919. How much? 24. An American 180s 25. Armalite AR 18 26. Gosh, this is painful. Are these all transferable?
I'd assume so. They're for sale.
Holy fuck. An M16, a Colt M16, 33. Wow. There's another one, 42. Yeah, I can't see him being up for sale. I don't know. So, like, that little North American, obviously it's not a Derringer, but it has a half cock, and then it actually has, in between the cylinders, it's got grooves, so you could carry it hammered down and locked in between the two cylinders. No, I don't do Facebook, Weston. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a actual full auto 1022 in person. It'd be cool. It'd be cool if we could, right? That'd be a fun gun to have because of the price of ammunition.
Yeah.
So they don't have, you know, they don't say you can do this 5 times a year, 1 time a year. There's no guidelines, but what it does very clearly say that you can't do it for your own personal gain. So, like I said, did I do it? Usually in December before I did my business taxes, I would transfer things.
This would probably hurt to look at. M60.
An M60 E6, 130. Yeah. Yeah, they get weird with it. Like I said, I did do it, you know, but it wasn't a lot, and it wasn't very many, and it's almost more hassle than it's worth, you know. So. You know, it's just like everything. You can get away with it until you can't. You know, if it's... I've bought and sold a few M16s over the years. That's why I was saying I was just shocked at how much they were going for. It's been a while since I looked up anything transferable, but you know, if somebody has the money and they want a good investment, that's definitely a solid money maker right there. But man, oh man. It's kind of funny because all these people have, you know, all this money wrapped up in them, and if something happened, like through the appeals court or the Supreme Court, and they ruled, hey, you know, you should be able to have transferable machine guns again, can you imagine how devastated these guys are? You know, $30K for an M16, and you'd be able to go buy a brand new one for $1,500, you know?
Yeah. That would really hurt a lot of people.
Oh, it'd be financially devastating.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, granted, you'd still have, hey, it was, you know, old model, but you would the values on them would be cut by like 100 times. You know, that $30,000 gun would be worth $2,000. A couple, not cool. Do you have a 12 gauge? Yep, I got several 12 gauges. I have a Benelli M1. I have a Sega 12. I have a TAC 14. And a not a Mossberg, KSG 12. And then a brown and silver medallion. That's one of the things, if you like shotguns, this month yet, no, I'm sorry, July. In July, there's a shotgun only match. I'll be running the Sega 12 in that. I was talking to the guy, I don't know if he's got a Beretta 1301 or one of the A300s or something, but I was talking to the match director a few weeks ago, and I was just asking him what rules they're going to be using. Yeah, I love my Benelli, dude. I've had that thing forever, like early 2000. I've used it for everything, but I was talking to that match director and asking what rules they're going to run. He said, you know, he's trying to do 8-round capacity. I'm like, you're running USPSA rules. There's no capacity on open division. And he's like, fine, I'll let you do 10-round. Well, I got 12-round magazines I'm going to be running. So he can just suck a big dick. I bought my Sega 12 back in the day, right before they were banned from import. And I bought it and I built it for 3-gun. So it'll be cool to be able to use that gun again. It's been probably 10 years since I've shot the gun. What do I carry every day around public? I carry a Glock 26. You have a 1992 HK Mark Benelli M3. So that's the pump semi-auto. That's pretty slick gun. The Spas killer. Although the Spas pretty much killed themselves. I think it's funny because how many people talk highly of the Spas 12, and they are absolute dog shit. You just have a Benelli Nova, and I wouldn't trade that gun for it. Benelli makes good firearms, you know. Yeah, I've had it. So when I got mine, I traded a Beretta 1300 on it. And I bought that gun. It had a longer barrel, but I bought it, figured it would be something good for bird hunting, trap, sporting clays. And as much as I liked the gun, I liked the way it shot, I was not accurate with it. I just couldn't shoot the gun. And I gave it a fair shake. You know, I tried all summer to get used to this gun and shoot it. And I could not shoot that gun to save my life. And I ended up trading it for my Benelli M1 Super 90. And to this day, that's still my favorite shotgun. It's like dead accurate. I'm accurate with that gun. That's the way I say it. I am accurate with that gun. There you go. You traded your 1301 for a 930 Jerry Micklick. Why did you trade the 1301? Did you have, was it the tactical model you had, or was it just the standard field grade? I've looked at the 930 a bunch of times, and the only thing I didn't like about it was the weight. They're heavy. The tactical, there you go. But the Jerry Micklick, I mean, there's a few things better than the regular 930, but it'd be cool to have that. The 930 fit your son better. There you go. I am wanting another 12 gauge. You know, that new the Benelli M4 now, you can get them with the threaded choke tubes, and you can get them the law enforcement version, which the shop I deal with will sell it. Then you have to do the 922R compliant parts. but you can get it with the extended magazine and choke tube from the factory. Then I looked up the compliant parts. It was like another $200. So I have been thinking about it. Yo, how can I get a Glock 16 for free? Man, everybody will give you one for free. It's not a thing. So 12 more weeks of college that I can go back to working full time and support your gun addiction. There you go. Are you 12 weeks and you're done with school? You got your degree. What have you been going to school for? The Polytech and the Polytech Legends and shit, they're nice. You know, are they worth the money that people are asking for them? I don't think so. I think you could get one of the Arsenals, or you could find one of the I just lost his name. The Krebs AKs, for less money, and they're probably a better gun. But if you're looking for a collector AK, the Polytechs are a good collector gun. But the ones that are seeking the best money are still the ones that are in the original package and never been out. So.
It's the continental breakfast you prefer?
Huh?
Continental breakfast you prefer? Or
American breakfast.
American?
You have to call and ask, because a continental can mean different things. It can be a fucking donut to a buffet, you know? So I want to know what we're getting. Going for business to further back me as a gunsmith and make me a better businessman. There you go. I was looking at an Arsenal Sam 5 a while back. Yeah, Arsenal is probably the best AKs out there. I think the Glock 12 is the best. So obviously there's no Glock 16. Glock started at 17. After the Glock 17 they did the Glock 18. After the Glock 18 they did the Glock 19 and so forth. But there is no Glock 16. So you have a machining background too? Glock 7. Oh, dude, I didn't even think of that. That could be the Horsecom edition. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably have to do a lot of hand jobs to afford that. Yep. How many people here thinks Glock should change their logo to a horse shooting cum? Kind of like the Colt, you know, the Colt Rampant, but have it doing the fucking money shot. I would pay extra to get that on a Glock. $20, $20. I would too. I hate to admit it, but I'd buy it. I'd buy it just because it was funny. Maybe I'm selling knockoff Glock cum behind 7-Eleven. Holy fuck. You better be wearing your fishnets and Crocs. Thong is optional. Fishnets aren't. Come on the competition, yeah. They should fully embrace that. At this point, if they did that on a firearm, they would probably sell more firearms than they currently are. Not telling us where you're getting your supply. That's okay. We all have a good imagination. I'm pretty sure we can come up with something. You get paid to get it and sell it. There you go. Well, I mean, so many things I want to say, but every one of them would get me a strike. That's how High Point sells. Yeah. You do more sales behind the Waffle House. Yeah, I agree with that too. Have you guys ever eaten at a Waffle House? I've never actually
Yeah,
eaten at one. Have you?
No.
No, I haven't. A hub channel, call it Dads with Guns. There you go. I'm gonna try to shake down High Point while we're there and see if we can't talk them into something.
But probably part of the reason.
You worked at Waffle House?
Let's say there's one of the states that don't have any
Yeah.
Waffle Houses.
I was gonna say I've never seen a Waffle House. Never even seen one.
Nope.
Waffle food is good, but makes sure the workers look pissed. High Point 50. That's kind of what I want to hit him up about is that carbine. I'm curious. I am truly curious about that High Point carbine. Number one, they probably aren't actually machining the parts themselves, but they could be. They could be. I mean, I doubt it, but they could be. But I am curious, because that's basically going to be the cheapest or next to cheapest gun on the market. I'm curious how it shoots. You know, what can we really expect from High Point? I'm curious how it shoots, how it would compare to the Radical Arms or the Omni or the Bear Creek Arsenal. You know, I'm curious.
Yeah, this is it. That's the map of them. The black dots are 5 or less. The orange are 5 or more.
Yeah, there
Or
ain't
more
shit
than
around here, is there?
No.
That looks like a southwestern thing.
Yeah. So black dots are if there's 5 or less, and the few orange dots are if there's more than 5.
Yeah, there ain't no Waffle Houses around here. I've never shot the TM22. They have multiple machine shops around Mansfield. If you want a place to go be empty, go to a Waffle House on Monday mornings. I suppose. Maybe, well, we'll be in Ohio. Maybe we'll hit a Waffle House.
Yeah, we should.
We'll make that a mission.
Just for the experience.
That'll be Sunday morning. We'll hit a Waffle House.
Yeah.
There's a Waffle House in Medina, Ohio. How far is that from you? Not a sponsor. You can meet us for breakfast. I'll leave the tip. You can pay. Not too far from Cleveland. There you go. I did see that. I was actually looking at it earlier. The Ramjet for the 43X. I didn't look at the price. Pull it up one sec. Don't say the price. We don't want to get in trouble. But I'm curious how much that is. Because I have two 43Xs. One's brand new. The other one we've shot maybe a couple hundred rounds through it. I could almost consider buying one just to try it for that, because I do have two. It'd be kind of interesting. Don't go Sunday morning. Why? Why not Sunday morning? Oh, to be packed. No, he probably. I would say probably half hour, 40 minutes.
We said Ramjet, Block 43X.
Yeah. They just introduced them. I saw some stuff on it the other day. So
Yeah, I'm not seeing the actual.
the website's not showing a price yet. I'm gonna say probably around 4. So I think that's how much. Their one for their 19s right around 4, right? I think it's probably
Just for their barrel lifts.
yeah. It comes with the Ramjet.
I drove for it. Oh yeah.
And we won't be going Sunday night. If anything, it would be Saturday night then. But yeah, they're right around 4. See, that's the thing with Glocks that I really dislike is you should be able to buy that gun already set up like that. You know, that's why we bought that Shadow system. You know, it came like that. You know, it'd be nice. It'd be nice if they would come out with what people want. You know, nobody wants a stock Glock anymore. That's just below 4 now. Yeah, that's what the price said on their site. Nobody wants to buy a stock Glock that isn't compensated and have the upgraded trigger and all that. They should be doing that from the factory now. I can understand having their service pistols that have a heavy trigger in them, maybe not as Gucci'd out, but I've said it a million times. They should have a competition model that you can buy that would give customers exactly what they want. And they could charge more. If you want a good time, Friday and Saturday nights are the best, as get all the fights and guns pulled. I don't think I want to be around any fights or guns getting pulled. I've been there, done that. And that's where we saw it, was on PewView, where he was showing them. So that's what made me look at it twice. Medina's actually a nice area. We'll check it out. And it's on the way back home, right? It's not like a half hour or whatever the opposite direction to the east. It's to the west. I really don't want to drive, because it would work out an extra hour then. 8 hours is enough. I don't want to make it 9 hours. And realistically, we're going to stop probably twice or 3 times, so that 8 hours turns already into closer to 9 hours home. And having my CDL, I can't speed. I gotta actually follow the traffic laws, which gets a little rough. But yeah, I saw the one PewView had, and it was interesting. We bought 2 of them, and I thought it would be a nicer gun than it was. It felt good in the hand, but they're not very nice to shoot. Remember, I was working on a Friday night, and a guy slapped a waitress on the behind and tried to come behind the counter, and manager choke slammed him. Well, that'd be fun to watch. I mean, I'm not gonna lie with that. That'd be, I mean. Waffle House is open late too, aren't they? Like bar time,
Yeah.
3 a.m. or
They're
something.
always open.
They're always open.
I'm pretty sure.
They have hours at Waffle House, or is that one of the 24-hour things?
I'm pretty sure it's 24 hours, because there's
24/7.
Yeah, and it's based off of, and it's half joking, but it's based off of how Waffle House is running with how fucked you are in the area. It's like they're running in hurricanes.
24/7. Yeah, they're not very nice. Just stock Glock, nothing fancy there at all. Like I said, with having 2 of them, I could consider building one up. I know Stifler, I've been talking with him, and he's talking about doing a 43X frame. But I don't know. I can say this, but realistically, to pull the money out of my wallet and order that, I'd probably find a million other things. I want to buy another AR trigger. I want to put a trigger in that MP5 clone I have. So right there's, 3 times that. That Waffle House is on your way home. Screenshot that, Gage. We'll stop there. And Florida Waffle House closes during a hurricane. It's time to get out the fuck out of Dodge. That's what Gage was just saying. He was just telling me that the Waffle House, how fucked you are, scale.
Yeah, they have a limited menu for stuff like hurricanes.
A limited menu?
Yeah, limited low power.
If you don't get their tea, if you don't get their tea. Why is their tea dog shit? I'm not much of a tea drinker. Every once in a while Try the Leaf Sport and lower and an AR-15 trigger for the MP5. I'll have to check that out. I like that PTR we have. I've used it for Steel Challenge a couple times now. It'd been nicer if it had a threaded barrel, but the price was cheap, so I wasn't worried about that. But it's a good shooting gun. Trigger just sucks, and the charging handle's on the wrong side. I wish I were able to reverse the charging handle to the appropriate side, but they designed that shit all ass backwards. So for T, it's changed like twice a week. That's not sweet at all. Yeah, that doesn't sound like something I want to mess with then. I don't know if that short act goes through. I'll definitely be buying one of the pistol variant MP5s. That'd be pretty badass. It's in the mid 500s. All that stuff that I was looking at, they're all $400 or $500 for the trigger. So to get the whole lower isn't that big of a deal for $5. Don't mess with the chili either. Why would they? Waffle House is just breakfast, isn't it? They have burgers and shit or what?
Why not? Is there?
Pull up a menu. Oh, here you work there, you change the chili out maybe twice. Oh god. That could be ugly. Dude, can you imagine being stuck in the car for 9 hours? Getting the shits and hoping to get a clean bathroom off of an interstate. I mean, you're not gonna get a clean bathroom.
Interstate foot trip.
You're gonna be pulling over on the side of the road, fucking handling business right there. Yeah, nothing about that sounds. I get weird, like when we go on trips and stuff. Even being a big guy, right? I try to eat super light. I don't like using public restrooms if I have to. At work, it's one thing, you know. At work, they're paying me to sit there and handle business, but I am not one to go to gas stations and have to drop trowel.
Well, here's the Medina one.
The grits are okay. Sometimes depends on the cook. The chili sounds explosive. Yeah, the chili sounds like it's a setup. It's an IED waiting. It's probably a war crime. Let's see the menu.
Just got it up. With prices and everything. This is actually from the one that we're going to be going to.
All-Star Special. How does Waffle House compare to Cracker Barrel? You guys ever eaten at a Cracker Barrel?
I haven't.
And it sounds just as white as the name. They do mean cracker. That's a very white establishment.
I've never ate one.
Never ate at Cracker Barrel?
No.
Send chili to Iran. There you go. Oh, they got burgers and shit, yeah. Chicken sandwich. Huh, interesting. Grits at Cracker Barrel is better. You know, that whole thing with Iran is interesting. I don't disagree that somebody needed to slap them. And for me, for my job, I mean, my job is defense-based, so it's kind of one of them things. How are you doing, man? Court Roskin. Hard to say your name, but how are you doing? You're not a fan of Cracker Barrel? You get plastic silverware and gold cups. I can't explain how many times I pulled the silverware cups out of the dishwasher. They were still filthy. That sounds awesome. Everything is out of a frozen can or frozen. How are you doing? How's your day going? Yep, I think I'm familiar with Canucks. What you thinking about a Canuck there, huh? But the Waffle House is a must-have. At least once. Yeah, we'll hit it. Just for shits and grins, we'll hit it. Sunday morning, we'll hit that on the way back. 223 DMR, how are you doing, man? How's your day going? What's big with you? You surviving the heat? That JK noob, he's in Idaho. So the blueberry waffles are killer though. Idaho. Waffle House has decent food. We'll check it out. For the features and quality, it's maybe the best option you have on the market. I disagree with that. There's, at that price range, you're real close to being able to buy better things. It depends what model you're getting and what you're going to use it for. Most Canucks, though, they're considered an entry-level budget firearm. Waffle House is like crack. Blueberry grits. Paying attention to all this shit, right? How much of this shit's gonna give us diarrhea on the way home? Because I'm telling you, that's a thing I don't want to deal with. If I have to pull over and use the restroom on the side of the highway, I'll go live while I'm in there. Okay, what about shotguns? What about shotguns? I strongly disagree. I won't buy a Canuck. I'm not broke. Yeah, that's kind of what I just said too. Again, them are kind of budget entry level guns, which are okay. Some people have good luck with them. I wouldn't spend the $350 on one. Even the Turcanelli clones. It's all in what you want to do with it and how reliable for how long do you want it. You never had an issue with the waffles, hash browns, eggs, and bacon. Eat light, take the rest home. There you go. I would also eat the most amount of crackheads and prostitutes ever at the crack. That sounds like fun though. I'm always down to meet interesting people that have. Yeah, I can't even say anything. Crackheads are always funny to interact with, unless they're stealing from you. We'll definitely hit that though. That sounds like a good thing to do. We'll find something else to do on the way home. I doubt we're gonna come straight home. We're gonna stop someplace. Maybe we'll stop in. Fuck am I thinking? Can't think of their name right now. Go to the Russell Military Museum or something. Sponsor that, and their biscuits are the only safe food to eat. There you go. So like I said, some of the stuff is okay, but they're saving money in places. So the gun may be really great for 500 or 1,000 rounds, and if that's all somebody's going to shoot through it, that's great. If somebody shoots a lot more than that through it, there's probably better options out there. A young person just getting started in firearms, that's a good place to start, right? Your waitress says 4 more teeth, ask for a different one. Toothless ones are awesome waitresses. There you go. I can agree with. We'll do that too. And you can see them preparing your food, so it ain't gonna be like they're gonna go spit a fucking loogie in it, right? there's different levels to crackheads, right? You know, I think I can handle a crackhead better than a tweaker or a fucking junkie. I have no use for any junkies of any type. And tweakers, I don't know, tweakers, when you're up at like 6 or 7 in the morning, you see a bunch of people tweaking, that's kind of funny. I'm not going to lie, it's funny. You know, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, a bunch of people tweaking, not so good. Yeah, we'll sit at the counter then so we can watch our food. Provided there's room. But guys, I think I'm going to get out of here. We've been on here for a little while. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Gunshots, not a sponsor. Godfather. Let's see, we saw Big O. Who else do we see? That guy, 223 DMR. I probably pronounce his name wrong, but Kotsroskin. I don't know how to say it. And for everybody that was here, I'm not going to go back and try to remember everybody, but I appreciate all you guys jumping on and putting some time on this live with me, putting some views on there. I really appreciate all you. I'll probably catch you in some of your lives. Yet I got maybe 2 hours before I go to bed. But again, I appreciate it. If you guys got any requests for Quattro is King, I was watching some of his stuff. He's a shooter, man. Quattro. Am I saying that right? Quattro? That makes me want to quack. Quattro. I think that's how you say Quattro. But I appreciate it. If you guys have anything you want to see at GunCon, let us know. Leave me a message in one of the videos or shorts or something. Otherwise, on our way out there, we'll do a live. I mean, we're going to be stuck in a vehicle for 8 hours. We'll probably just do a live the whole time. So I'll catch you guys another time. You guys have a good night. Bye.